G'day folks. I think I've waited a long enough time for the thing to come to life. Hope you're doing all right today. Something I forgot to mention when we chatted last was the price of silver. Did you have a look at the price of silver yesterday? The price of silver yesterday was up at nearly $60 an ounce. That means that if you started buying silver with the Voice of Freedom a couple of years ago, you've made over $20 an ounce in your investment. And that's a pretty short time frame to be picking up that sort of money. I mean, if you've got a bit of silver, you've done really well. Congratulations. Now, at the moment, it's dropped back down under $59. It's still 58. I think it's about 58.30 last time I looked. Now, the silver, I'm no, financial analyst or guru, and I'm not giving you any advice, but it is going to, I think, drop down a little bit. And then it's going to go up again. And I think it will break the $60 Australian per ounce barrier sooner rather than later. I know Paul is pretty excited about it by the sounds of it, and why wouldn't you be? A great opportunity. And look, if it's going to jump hugely, won't you kick yourself for not having at least 1 ounce? Just try it. If you're one of those people who just says, oh no, I'm into other things, I don't like the shiny stuff or whatever, just buy yourself 1 ounce of silver today from AinsleyBullion.com.au. Put it away. You never know. It might be that investment that really pays off for you, and you find out down the track you probably regret not buying more than one. But buy one. Just one. Get into this, please. Gold is not doing as much at the moment, which is interesting. A lot of movement in the silver market. Gold has been pretty steady. It's back over 5,100, I think, but only just. So it has been under that amount now for a little while, and silver has been where the movement has been. Keep watching the silver space, folks. Keep watching that silver space. I had I don't know, after sleeping on my conversation with you last night, I probably seem a little hypocritical, because to be told that someone hates you by the person that hates you, they are actually being honest. And I appreciate honesty. So I should have thanked them for their honesty, not criticised them for it. And I really didn't want to come across as criticising it. I'm not offended that people don't like me. If you're upset with me, okay. There are some people who aren't upset with me, who support me and what I say because they feel the same way. And of course, there will always be a different side, a different feeling, a different motivation. My conversation was about honesty, about taking accountability, being able to be accountable for the decisions that one makes. Now, I'm going to screw this up. It's an old saying. It's along the lines of, he who refuses to offend can never tell the truth, the whole truth, along those lines. If you are afraid of offending somebody because you speak honestly, you speak the truth, and I'm not just saying your truth, that is a different thing. Your truth is what you believe and may or may not be able to necessarily back up. I'm talking about immutable truths, something here that, is a truth. You either tell a lie, you tell a half lie or a half truth, or you tell the truth. There are really only the three options. And all I'm asking is for less half-truths, less untruths, less lies, and more honesty, accountability. And you'll find, like me, I'm not offended, I'm not upset, I don't hold a grudge, and in fact I admire people who do have the honesty to come up and say, listen, I hate you, I really don't like you. That's fine. Nobody ever said we signed a contract with the Lord to like everybody else. But what we are presented with when we find people that we clash with on a variety of different levels, I'm not talking physically, although it can get to that obviously, but I'm talking on a variety of different levels. We are given the opportunity to learn how to deal with people who may have opposing views, who may have very strident beliefs that you think are absolutely crazy. This is where energetic debate comes in, but energetic debate with facts, not lies. And once again, people get to make a decision about how they present the truth, whether they present it in a true fashion, with all the facts presented, not just the ones that aid one side or the other, then you're going to have a good outcome, and you'll have a learning outcome for everybody. Now, unfortunately, in any combative situation, in any competitive situation, there's a winner and a loser. And I really don't like the idea of losers. I don't like that terminology for this, because we don't lose. All right? You may not get what you want, but if you evaluate the process that you've gone through trying to get it and you've lost, then you have a learning experience, a teaching experience, if you like, that will help you with a roadmap next time you've got a similar situation or a similar debate, and you'll be better prepared. Rather than getting your nose out of joint because you lost something, or perceive you lost something. You haven't. You have gained the ability to find where you were weak in your argument. Therefore, that's a benefit. That's a strength. You can go forward, plan your arguments better, research your arguments better, gain more knowledge. And this is, in effect, what we are doing in the courts, all the way down to the most inane decisions in our lives. And I know that there are many people in the courts who simply want honesty out of the judiciary, and we're not getting it. And it can be very frustrating. But we have to keep trying. And with every perceived loss in that arena, these folks who are experiencing that, who are, engaged in the lived experience of this, are learning. They're not woe is meing, we lost, head in the sand, let's become a bike rack. They are learning. They are going back. They are figuring out, well, okay, this is what was said, this is how they said it. Okay, right. So these are learning experiences all the way through. And a lot of it is based in honesty. Now, I understand when one person is telling what they perceive to be an honest truth, and the other person is diametrically opposed to that, well, yes, it can be difficult. We don't have to present those arguments at each other at 1,000,000 decibels, screaming, ranting, raving, and dribbling from the lips. It's much better if we approach it as the learned experience, the lived experience, and try and be polite to each other to get a result everybody can work with. And I would hope that honesty will make that path a lot easier for everyone to follow. If we speak honestly and openly, there should be no issues. And if you're prepared to be accountable for your decisions, not blame them on somebody else, woe is my life because you did this to me, then look at the lived experience out of it. Look at the learning lessons to be gained from whatever that experience is. Take it on the chin. Learn how to avoid it next time. Learn how to throw a better argument next time. So I guess it comes down to Honesty. And why people hate me, supposedly, is because I'm being honest. What I'm doing, in my experience, my feeling, all I present is my opinion. I raise questions about some people's actions. I raise questions about some people's motivations. That's all I do. I'm not saying that I am right. I'm not saying that I am sitting on some, throne casting aspersions at people. That's not what I'm doing. I'm saying here are my concerns. These are the things that, make me go, well, is that something I want to get behind and support or not? Now, I shouldn't be hung out to dry because I have those sorts of feelings. And I don't mind if I am hung out to dry because I have those sorts of feelings. It's not a problem. But I just find it a loss for many folks it's a loss for the learning experience they could get. So, what did they say? You can't bake a cake without breaking a few eggs. Well, all right. I also believe, like I said, that you can't be afraid to offend someone because you're telling the truth. And it might upset them to hear the truth. You can't be afraid to tell the truth. And I hope that we can all attempt to get closer to that every day. Enough of my rant for this morning. I'm sorry I can't read any of your chats. This morning I got the sun coming in on the screen. I can barely see me. Don't even know if I'm in the shot. Today, got a few things on today. Got a few things on today. Going to be an interesting day. I'm not going to Ainsley Bullion, unfortunately. I hope you get the opportunity to either pop into the Brisbane store or the Melbourne store, or very shortly the Gold Coast store. Not open yet though. Go online, ainsleyBullion.com.au, and the boys will help you out hand over fist to get you into the shiny market. And even today, I think if you were to buy it $58 today for an ounce of silver or whatever it is, then it's only going to get better for you, folks. It's only going to get better. A very exciting time indeed. Tonight, I have a very interesting chat coming up tonight. I'm not actually sure whether or not one or both the girls are joining me. Mary Jane and Cass could be back on tonight's show together. It'll be one or the other or both. We're going to talk about some rather interesting news that has come out in the last 24 hours. A secret memo or a secret advice has been mistakenly released by the Treasury to the ABC of all people. And bugger me dead, when the Treasury realised they'd made a tragic error and left a lot of information that they probably shouldn't have left in this document that they sent to the ABC visible, most of it was redacted, but the headings and the subheadings were all still there, which gave a great layout as to what Treasury advice to the new Albanese government is. And that advice is raise taxes, amongst other things. Raise taxes. The 1.5 million homes they were going to get built in, 5 years? Never going to happen. That's the advice. And we know that from the Senate estimates, questions that were asked of that department. We know they haven't built one house yet, I don't think, or they hadn't at that stage. Or if they had built many more than one. They are so far behind the curve on that, and they have wasted millions and millions and millions of our dollars. And now we, as a nation, are in such a black hole, thanks to the iteration of the first Albanese government, that Treasury has advised them of a number of things and a number of ways they're going to need to increase taxes. Now, they're not going to increase direct taxes. They're going to increase indirect taxes, and they are going to go back and hit your super. All right, particularly if you are rich. If you have a decent-sized super account, they're going to come back and hit that again too. This is the advice from Treasury to the Albanese government in a secret document that they've unfortunately released to the ABC. And kudos to the ABC. When they were asked to destroy the document and not publicise it, the ABC said, well, hang on. no, there's a public interest in this. No, I think we'll keep it, thank you very much, and we will talk about it. And they did. So, thumbs up to the ABC. I don't do that very often, but somebody there has grown a set and has decided to keep an eye on the government. Now, let's see who comes out and tries to cover all that up from inside the ABC, and that'll be a very educational and informative experience. But tonight, we're going to talk about what this tax brief means to you, and it could mean something significant. They're coming for your money, folks, so don't let the bastards do it.